Becoming a parent changed a lot for me.
But I know you're human.
Maybe the women you're looking to are not a fit for what you do. It's not a safe space for women.
No one wants to have that conversation.
I'm not going to act holier than thou and say I'm not judgmental. I have to be open to the fact that there are other parts of you outside of you being a rapist. I'm always curious about people's podcasting models.
Yes.
Because either they're going in and they're doing a deal with like the podcast setup where there's already an existing, or they're creating their own thing and buying their own gear. So I'm always curious how people fund, what different models are. Yes, because my model is different to all podcast models because I got on television.
Sure.
So the TV ended up paying.
Sure.
Even though the first model was famous. Like I literally was like, you're all doing nothing because it's COVID, bring your cameras with you.
Let's do some.
Yes, and then TV picked it up by chance.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Well done as well.
Thank you.
I think you were one of the smartest and most considerate interviewers in the country, if not the. So that's pretty dope. Shout out to you.
It's not easy.
No, trust, I know. But look, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Days I want to be like, what? And sometimes like you say, what?
No, it's not easy for the average person, but I know it's natural for you, which makes you special.
But because I've matured in
I get you.
how I'm doing stuff now, like
No, that's true.
becoming a parent changed a lot for me.
That's very good.
Like made me a better broadcaster, better everything.
More empathetic.
I wouldn't even just say empathetic, like what's the word I'm looking for? So it's a very specific type of maturity. The platform only works.
So what's different about you is that you remember that whoever you're speaking to is human. And I find many other interviewers are like doing a job and they forget that this person has like problems and stress, and I can pick up in the way you ask questions that you're like, I respect your craft or your story, but I know you're human. And even in the way you're telling your story, I'd also like to protect you. So try and not say something that's going to be wild. If you don't want to share something, it's okay. I'm not going to try and dig it out of you because I'm not here to harass you in front of a camera.
So if anything, I've just told myself, even if I'm interviewing a rapist, I am open to the fact that there are things, you raping somebody is not your whole story, is not your identity.
You are a unicorn.
It's not your identity.
No one would ever use that.
If I want to have a unique experience of interviewing you, I have to be open to the fact that there are other parts of you outside of you being a rapist. Because if I'm sitting with you to talk about you raping somebody and you served your time or whatever, I have to consider the fact that outside of that one act or multiple acts, there's a person.
Is that natural for you? Or is it learned over time?
What is this you are wearing?
Part natural, part learned, because you also have to finesse how you do it. Like you saying I'm an empath, I am, but imagine how destroyed I would be if I was a full-on empath taking all those stories home. We would shoot in a day 5 episodes.
Are you serious?
Yes!
Yeah, I don't believe in that, my friend. I've tried
Block
that
shooting.
stuff. It trains me emotionally.
Yeah, so for me, it's a cost thing. I mean, we shoot with 4 cameras. The new podcast we're doing is single cam. We did it quite simply, but it's a full-on production. So yes, you have to maximize because the cost is so high, but it is draining. And mind you, when I was doing it, I was breastfeeding. So I had to be very intentional about what energies I'm going home with to a 3-week-old. Like, and still go breastfeed after hearing this person's relieved themselves on me. I can't carry those things home. So you can't be overly empathetic. There still has to be a boundary.
One of the only people that ever use rape as an example because it is so extreme. And the fact that you jumped specifically for that example to go and say, look, this guy probably has a mom who loved him. This guy probably has mates. This guy's probably done maybe like charity work. This guy is maybe, and this thing that he did, however long it was, even if it's serial, to what you're saying, it's not his whole life. No one wants to have that conversation.
I wouldn't even go as far as saying There's not a single individual on planet Earth I would not interview. And that shows I am a true broadcaster. My personal views are not going to interfere in that.
But that makes you human, not just a broadcaster. It makes you human. But they do have. I found Oprah to be judgmental.
Really?
It's also not that big.
And she's one of the people that I modeled. I mean, I tried to find my own things. Yes, she I think in her time there were certain things she was judgmental about. But I'm not going to act holier than thou and say I'm not judgmental. I'm human. I have my opinions on things. And there's certain interviews I've walked out of when I'm like, to the team, what the? What the? You know? But I'm conscious about the fact that in the space, I cannot be.
But it makes you a better human than her. That's what I'm saying. It's wild.
It makes me
better human being than her.
As in ministers.
No. It is what it is. It's a compliment from me, and it's whatever.
Look, I appreciate that. I think.
But you're a better human, and that's crazy.
Is that because maybe if the stakes were different, I wouldn't be a better human. Like, I don't know if you recall Story T once said.
Who said? Okay.
He was like, it's easy to judge someone and say I'll never be an alcoholic because you can't afford to be an alcoholic until you have access. So maybe if I were rich enough and as powerful as Oprah, I might be that judgmental. Do you get what I mean? So I don't think it necessarily means I'm a better human being. I just think it hasn't been tested yet.
Do you enjoy the work you do?
I do. I think I'm fortunate that like no day's the same. Radio's been interesting. You know, I'm so glad I'm not doing morning radio anymore. That was like very painful on my way. Not just the waking up, like it messes with your body's biorhythms and hormones, and I had proper like sleep challenges and things, so I feel a lot more stable. Even though I still have late nights, it's not like before.
You know, even when you go international, for some reason women are not really into podcasts. I'm not sure why. Number one. Number two, maybe I don't know enough interesting women, and interesting women that are comfortable to get on a platform and chat. But it's not out of design. The sad thing is I normally read comments like get women, and I'm like, I've probably had like 8, but clearly people didn't watch those episodes.
Look, so, I'm not gonna act like I'm an avid follower, but of the clips that I've seen, I haven't seen you engage with a lot of women.
Sure. I think maybe what's the other reason? I'm trying to think of like a smart reason.
Maybe the women you're looking to are not a fit for what you do.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Eh?
I know a lot of dope women.
So why don't you use them?
A lot of them don't want to be on a platform.
Then to hire people.
They don't want to be on a platform, or they don't want to be on a platform with me.
You know, I think when you find like a dope woman, no, it's not me, lucky. You know, when you find dope women are normally always busy. Whereas dope gents always have time.
What does that tell you? Why is
I don't know, you guys are a commodity and we're not.
Men in podcasting, why y'all always free to be podcasting?
We're not a commodity, clearly.
The nature of conversations, I think, that men generally have on their podcasts is not conducive. It's not a safe space for women. That's my reason why I think the nature, the setting that you guys have created, the space is not safe. Okay. So that's why women don't come.
Conversations like that.
Huh?
I don't have conversations like that.
No.
But I hear what you're saying.
You hear what I'm saying? It's not a safe
I'm saying
space.
it's unfair for me to be bunched with that.
We talk, and then after that.
Why do you say it's unfair? But it's true.
So, for example, you're like, and I like us to sit and I'm like, yo, I'm going to makeup and what? And like, excuse me.
But you see
it's like, yeah, but you woman love to talk about makeup and hair. It's like,
you
no,
see,
you can't do that.
The fact that that was even your go-to, our conversations are like so deep and meaningful. Because you see, here's the thing.
But I'm saying, I know the guys have trash conversations, and I'm saying it's unfair for me to be punched.
No,
with
I'm
like, you are dog,
not
you see
talking
her.
about those guys.